You see that the title of today's message is Wait Upon Elohim. And it comes out of Isaiah 40 verses 28 through 31. 28 through 31. And it says, did you know? Did you not know? Have you not heard? The everlasting Elohim Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the faint, and to those who have no might he increases strength. Even youth shall faint and be weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who wait on Yahweh, but those who wait on Yahweh renew their strength. They rise up, the wings like eagles. They run and are not weary. They walk and do not faint. You may be seated. You may be seated. Amen. Listen to this description of Yahweh, our Elohim, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. How many of you know he's always ready?
Yes, he is.
And his understanding is unsearchable. Meaning what? His understanding must be revealed to you as you seek him with all of your heart.
Amen.
And he's the one who gives power to the faint. And he's the one who increases strength. But those who wait upon Elohim, they are the ones who renew their strength. They rise up like the wings of eagles. They run and are not weary. They walk and they do not faint. The entire message is going to be primarily on that one verse of scripture. And I believe it's an end time scripture for the church. I don't know how many times I'm going to tell you, but we will probably see the beginning of the New World Order in our generation. I was kind of hoping to be pushing daisies before it showed up, but maybe not. Or, of course, being taken out. And this way I wouldn't have the taste of death in the first place. So let's take a closer look at this scripture. Those who wait. The word wait here means to be patient. You need to be patient. What? You didn't give it to me yet. How come? You can ask if you want to. But it's better if you're patient. And let me tell you, wait also means here hope. Why? Because that's how you exercise your faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for while you wait. Come on now. You need to be patient. Exercise your due diligence in being able to wait. Now listen to me very carefully. If you already have a task at hand, you continue that task until he gives you something else. There are many things we need to do. I, for example, have to be patient to see what he wants me to bring week after week. And sometimes it comes at the day of the morning of and the day before, and I don't care when it gets here as long as it gets here. And trust me, if there's a day where I don't get anything, we're going to come in here and I'm going to tell her, bring about 60 songs. And we'll worship all day. You see, we have to understand that we all have things to do and we need to get them done. And I'm talking about school, exams, and work, and raising the children. Whatever else you have to take care of. Family time. And of course, the gathering of the brethren. Church. Okay? That seems to be the first thing to fall by the wayside. If everybody had come in, it was supposed to be, this place would be packed right now. We were supposed to have like 9 or 10 more people come today. And they didn't come. And you know what? It's okay. Why? Because unless the Lord builds the house. I want you to understand something. I don't want anybody here that doesn't belong here anyway. What? You heard me. If you don't belong here, go where you belong, because that's where you're going to be blessed. You're not going to be blessed being disobedient, going to a place you're not supposed to be. That's one of the problems we have in a lot of churches today. Pastors are all about numbers. And I'm almost sure that it has to do with collections too. Numbers. We don't worry about numbers. We worry about making sure that we are right on track with the perfect will of Elohim for this fellowship. That's it. That's the only thing that matters, and that's the only thing that should matter to you. It's where are we and where are we going? Well, hopefully we're all going to be going into eternity with Him, because that's our final goal. Okay? But remember that while you wait, you can fast, you can pray, you can read the Word, you can obey, you can do all of those wonderful things, and everything else that you have to do. Because if you don't, you may be waiting a lot longer. There are times when Elohim is ready to move and He can't because you're not ready. Oh, did He just say that? Let me tell you again. I didn't think I was going to get any hallelujahs out of that one, but that's all right. There are times when Elohim wants to do something and He's ready for you to go, but you're gone, doing something else. Why? Because you didn't take the time to wait on Elohim. Yahweh Elohim. So whatever you're doing now continues while you wait. But you have to make sure that you're in due diligence with your waiting. And if He says go, you're ready to go. You know, I'll put it to you this way. If there's several of you and Elohim is speaking and He has a task to be done, why don't you just act like Samuel says, well, here am I, send me. Just volunteer. You want me to do what? Yeah, volunteer. He doesn't mind if you volunteer. He'll gladly send you, because He knows your heart is right. You wanted to go. But many people in the congregation today, their hearts aren't right. Unless love is taking over your heart's not right. Why? Because when love takes over, Elohim is in control. Because He's love. And we have to understand that. So why is it so important? Because we're coming onto a time where you knowing that you are in His will is going to be critical. You knowing that you're doing exactly what He wants you to do is critical. It's going to be very critical. But unless we are ready to do what we're supposed to, well, what could I tell you? Okay. Now those who wait on Elohim, they renew their strength. They renew their strength. What does that mean? It means to be new. It means to be new. It means to be rebuilt. In other words, you're being rebuilt. Or it means to be restored, to change, to be restored. How many of you know that when Elohim has you waiting, He's actually working on you. He's getting you ready for what's to come. He's preparing you for the next thing in your life, whatever it may be. Okay? Strength here also means to be powerful and mighty in Him. It's so important that we take the time to wait on Elohim, simply because during that wait, that's the time when you can become everything He needs you to be. How wonderful. How wonderful. Okay? Imagine to physically be able to do everything He wants you to do. Or imagine this, the spirit is willing, but the flesh not can handle it. It's weak. But if you wait on Elohim, you shall renew your strength in Him. See, when He said to me the same thing He said to Joshua, be strong and of good courage. What does that mean? Be strong in Him. Be courageous in Him. Because everything is about Him. So we need to make sure that we are able to contend with our enemy on the battlefield. And the battlefield, of course, is your mind. That's the battlefield. The second battlefield is the earth. But the first battlefield is in your mind. And you need to renew your strength in your mind simply by just reading the Word, which renews your mind, gives you the mind of Christ, gives you the clarity of Christ, so you can see the way He sees, you can hear the way He hears, you can speak the way He speaks, and you are able to discern that which is coming your way.
Amen.
Not because of anything that I said, but because you've taken the time to wait on Elohim. Now listen to me very carefully. I'm almost positive you're not going to sit and wait for 80 years. Brother, how come you don't ever do it? I'm waiting on Elohim. And Elohim has passed him by 43 times in the last week, trying to get him up and going. Okay? Make sure that you are right on time with Him, because He's never late with you. But He will pass you by if you're not ready to go. And let me tell you something. He'll find someone else to do what you need to do and reward them. And He still holds you accountable for what you were supposed to do. So why don't you just get it done? There are times to wait and there are times to get going. When it's time to get going, get going. Because if you don't, that's between you and Him now. That's between you and Him now. Why is this so important? Because there's going to come a time when after you renew your strength, you are going to rise up the wings like eagles. How many of you know you're ready to take flight? You're ready to go. Now, why is this so important? See, most people don't understand what this means. When you rise up the wings like eagles, what that means is that you are going to deal with whatever the circumstance is before you. You see, the enemy's going to come at you. And let's just say that with respect to the eagle, he's blowing a very strong wind. A very strong wind will blow you away. But when you rise up with wings like eagles, the wind begins to come at you, and you tuck your head just right, and you bring your wings right out, and you lock them. The wings of an eagle can lock in perfect position. And as the more that wind keeps coming at you, the greater your lift is going to be to rise up above the situation. To get a bird's eye view of what's going on. To be able to see Elohim at work for you while you just glide in the wonderful currents of the enemy. Come on now. All that simply because you waited on Elohim. You allowed him to be Elohim Yahweh in your life. You allowed him to become that which he said he was going to be in all your circumstances. Why? Because he is the one who has never left you. He has never forsaken you. He has always been there with you in your greatest moment of triumph and in your greatest moment of weakness. And in your greatest moment of weakness, that's when he became strong for you. Oh, how wonderful. It is so wonderful to have yourself rise up with wings like eagles. And now you can take on in Elohim what the enemy's bringing, not because you're ready to take it on, but because he has prepared you to be strong and take courage during a time of adversity, knowing full well that he's in control and he will give you your victory. Oh, how wonderful is this this one little passage. Number 3 was rise up with wings as eagle. Number 2, renew the strength. Okay? What a wonderful scenario. How many of you know that an eagle is a bird of prey? Yeah. Meaning it can take on a few things. How many of you know that you are a child of prey when you change the E to an A? And now you can take on the enemy on your knees. When you pray, P-R-A-Y, you'll be able to defeat those who are trying to P-R-E-Y-U. The enemy is going to try to prey on you. All you're going to do is drop down to your knees. You're going to call on Yahweh, your Elohim. You're going to wait upon him. You're going to renew your strength and you will rise up. And when you do, the enemy better be ready. Because you come. You come. And you coming with a full head of steam. In Yahweh. Woo! What a way to go. What a way to go. That is exciting. Now, they run and are not weary. That's a serious statement. Presently, I can't run. But they run and are not weary. That's in the physical. Okay? In him, I can fly. I can move like you wouldn't believe. Why is it so important that they run and not be weary? Because you have a race to run. You have a race to finish. And here's the funny part about it. You are on a perfectly level ground. Okay? And ever so often, the enemy will pop up a hurdle. And all you have to do is 2 strides and up you go and over the hurdle. Why? Because you have mounted up with wings like an eagle. It don't matter what he throws before you. You can rise above it. And Yahweh, your Elohim. Now, go at it on your own. And you're going to find yourself all beaten up by that little obstacle. You won't be able to get through it on your own. Okay? They will run and not grow weary, meaning what? You'll finish the race and still be fresh to go run some more. You'll finish that race and you'll be ready to run some more. Okay? You'll finish that race and like, is that it? I'm so good to go. How about something else? I'm ready. And then he says, no, just wait. When Elohim has you resting, is nothing more than to make sure that you are right with him. See, his rest, when you wait, is very valuable. Because it allows you to be established in who he is with respect to your perfect will and exactly what he is with respect to everything else. Meaning, the only thing you need to know is what you need to know. But it allows you to see the magnitude of his vastness. I mean, the other day I was just sitting down and thinking about this universe, and it just blows my mind. How he has all these things floating all over the place. And they never fall out of the sky. I mean, Mars doesn't go around the sun. It doesn't go down and up, and it just sits right there. Perfectly suspended. By what? Elohim. Elohim. I mean, when you think about everything that he's put together, I mean, from the seas, the oceans, and stuff. Look at yourself in the mirror and see how complicated you really are. If you don't believe me, ask him, am I complicated? He'll go, oh, yes, you are. And you create your own complications.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to do anything with him. He doesn't say in the verse here, those who wait upon Yahuwah renew their complications, and they rise up like someone who's about to die, and they can't even run, and even if they try to walk, they bust their knee. It doesn't say that. See, you create more problems for you than anybody else. Why? Because sometimes you don't take the time to just sit down and wait on Elohim and let him renew your strength. Let him allow you to mount up. Let him be the one who establishes you in him for his honor and glory, that whatever you are and whatever you do, they're going to know that you are Elohim's child. You need to take the time to wait on Elohim, because you never know when he's going to say, time to go. Come on now. Do you know that there's one in the Shamayim who sits at the right hand of the Father waiting on him to say, go get him? Come on now. Yeshua HaMashiach is waiting on Elohim. He waits on Elohim. So if he waits on Elohim, why can't we? He waits on him. He's waiting to say, go get him. Your bride is ready, go get her. He's waiting. He waits on Elohim. So then why don't we do the same? He's our example. Have you ever seen Yeshua HaMashiach do anything that does not please the Father? Now, how many things did you do this week that displeased him? Don't answer that. Just hold it to yourself and repent. But do you understand what I'm saying? And this is because that's our natural tendency. Instead of waiting, you're going. Where are you going? And while you're doing all the things you're not supposed to, you can't be with Elohim. Those who wait, it says. Sometimes you just need to wait. Sit down. Shut up. And just say, oh, here am I. Bless me with your presence. Bless me with anything. I'm going to wait upon you. And sometimes you say something, and sometimes you get a chance to sit down and rest. But you understand what I'm saying? It's not, listen, get this through your brain. This life is not about you. It never has been, it's never going to be. You were created specifically to serve him, and for his pleasure you were created. So therefore, if you're going to be his pleasure, you better be the one doing the things that please him, like Yeshua HaMashiach. That's just how it is. But see, you're not going to know any of this if you don't take the time to wait upon Elohim. Let him be the one who creates the heart within you. Let him be the one who establishes your new mind. Let him be the one who sets up a spirit within you. Let him be the one. Let him be the one. Let him be the one, and watch how good things will be. Even if you're going through all kinds of hell, let him be the one. Because at the end, you win. No matter. When it's all said and done, you win. And if it's really bad, you get double for your trouble. Job did. See what I'm saying? But we need to take time to just wait on Elohim. This is just how it is. I mean, it's so really wonderful to see how things are actually going, and yet they shall walk and shall not faint. Can you imagine walking until you faint? That's a long walk. And yet it says, they shall walk and shall not faint. Meaning that if you have to walk, you may walk for a long time. And you're not going to faint. Now listen to me very carefully. The word faint here means to be tired enough to pass out. Okay? You're so tired, it's like, oh! That's it, lights out. Resuscitate. Why is that so important? Because if you're so faint that you have passed out, the enemy's got your joy. Because the joy of Elohim is your strength. You hear what I'm saying? Don't let the enemy steal your joy. Because your joy in him is what renews your strength. Now, can you imagine? You know where that came from, right? It was Yeshua who said that your joy may be full. He was the one who said that. Why? Because it's the joy of Elohim that's going to be your strength to do all the things that... So you first get the joy. Then you get the strength. Then you get to mount up. Then you get to run. Then you get to walk. You get to do all these things for him simply because you waited upon Elohim. Now, that doesn't mean that I want the rest of you now for the rest of you to come in and say, yeah, I waited all week. What? Yeah, just like you said. I waited all week. And what did you do? Nothing. I just waited. Hello? You missed the point? The time to wait on Elohim is when you're by yourself in the evening after everything is done. Early in the morning, you have just listened. Start your day by waiting upon him. What would you like to do today? Well, my day is over. I'm going to sit down here and fellowship with you just so we can get ready for tomorrow. What's on the agenda for tomorrow? You understand what I'm saying? That's what waiting is all about. Allowing him to be who he says he is. Now, turn over to Philippians chapter 4. If you're there, say amen. Oh, amen. Chapter 4, verses 19 and 20. This is why it's so important to wait on him. This is a verse of scripture that we've heard time and time again. And my Elohim shall fill all your need according to his riches in esteem by Mashiach, Yeshua. And to our Elohim and the Father be esteemed forever and ever. Amen. You see, how are you going to get your needs met if you don't take time to just be with him? Let me tell you something. The greatest need that you have, besides salvation, is the need of knowing what it is you're supposed to be doing. Because if you know what you're supposed to be doing, then all the things that you need to accomplish that will be given to you. Okay? Now, if you're supposed to have a healing ministry, you're going to get the gift of healing. You see what I'm saying? So whatever it is that the call upon your life is, that's what this verse refers to. See, a lot of people think, and Elohim shall fill all your need. Oh yeah, I need a Mercedes, I need a boat, I need... No. That's not what you need, that's what you want. There's a difference between what you want and what you need. When you wait on Elohim, you're going to find out what you need. You're going to find out you need your heart replaced a little bit. You're going to find out that you need your belly to be filled with rivers of living water. You're going to remember, you're going to find out that your ears need to be tweaked so that you can hear His voice. Your eyes need to be set on track so you can see like He sees. And then you're going to be able to speak the very oracles of Elohim. So you need all this stuff in order to be able to serve Him correctly. The worst thing, listen, the worst thing that can happen is that you get out there and fumble all over yourself and then call yourself a man or woman of God. You've just given Him a black eye. Or conversely, you call yourself a man or woman of God, but when things went wrong, you were the first one to be all irate and carrying on and doing things you shouldn't have done. Why? Because you didn't take the time to wait. You're so busy running around, you didn't take the time to wait. See, the only way you can act on behalf of the Father is if you know the heart of the Father. You're not going to know the heart of the Father unless you sit down and wait to fellowship with Him. When you know the heart of the Father, you know the heart of His babe, or Yeshua. When you know their hearts, then you know what you need to do. Because it's within the confine of their hearts that your heart will be established. Once your heart is established in their heart, you're set. Because now the three of you are one. How wonderful. How wonderful. Anybody enjoying this as much as I am? I hope you are. All right. Now listen to this. When you wait patiently on Elohim, Elohim provides whatever your hope is. He provides your strength. When you mount up, okay, with wings as eagles, He's the one who fights your battle. You're flying. Matter of fact, you're so high above that thing you want no part of it. But He fights your battles for you. When you run, it's in His strength that you don't grow weary or that you get tired or faint. Even when you walk. Okay? Now let me share something with you. Wherever you are, He is. But wherever He is, are you? Get a hold of that. Wherever you are, He is. But wherever He is, are you? You know, you can be where He is and not even know He's there. Unless you really have that kind of a relationship that is bound. Literally bound. Okay? Listen. And my Elohim shall fill all your need according to His riches in esteem by Mashiach Yeshua. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. That He will do that for you. Absolutely amazing. Now, turn to same book, Philippians chapter 4. Let's go back a few verses to verse 13. I have strength to do all through Mashiach who empowers me. In the King James it reads, I can do all things through Yeshua who strengthens me. But listen to this. I have strength to do all through Mashiach who empowers me. Do you know that he's always going to empower you to do whatever his perfect will is in your life? That's what that's talking about. That's exactly what that's talking about. It's not for you to go running around like a madman or a madwoman. That's not what the strength is for. The strength is for you to accomplish the perfect will of the Father for you. And he will give you all the strength you need. And the rest you need. And the place, the when, the where, the how. Look at the story of Abraham or Isaac or Jacob, Yeshua. They were always where they were supposed to be. Because why? Because they took the time and fellowship, but then he told them, go here, go there, do this, do that. Joshua, after the death of Moshe or Moses, he was told to cross over. Not before, but it was Elohim who told him to cross. And everything he was going to have. But he was waiting on the other side before he crossed the river. See what I'm saying? There are many examples of people in the scriptures who waited on Elohim. Okay? Go to the book of Nehemiah. When you're there, get to chapter 8. So in chapter 8, let's read verse number 10. Verse number 10. Then he said to them, go, eat the fatness and drink the sweet, and send portion of those to whom it is prepared. I think, yeah. For this day is Kodesh, and to Adon, do not be sad, for the joy of Yahuwah is your strength. And notice they're having a little get-together here of some sort. The joy of Yahuwah is your strength. What does that mean? You need to take joy in him. The hardest thing to do is be joyful when you're going through some problems. That's the hardest thing to do, is to be joyful when you're going through problems. Okay? That's when the enemy tries to steal your joy. Why? Because then he takes your strength. If he takes your strength, now you're weak. You can't do anything. Okay? So the end of that says, do not be sad, for the joy of Yahuwah is your strength. Now he said this to Nehemiah, way back in the original. Okay? The joy of Nehemiah was his strength. The joy of Nehemiah and Yahuwah was his strength. Now, Kodesh here means to be set apart, and of course Adon is master. But go to 1 Peter and let's close this out. Chapter 5. Verse number 10. I'll probably have another one after that, but Peter 5, verse 10. And the Elohim of all favor, who called you to his everlasting esteem by Mashiach Yeshua, after having suffered a while himself, perfected, established, strengthened, and settled in you. Did you see that? When you wait upon Elohim, you are perfected, established, strengthened, and settled. That is fantastic. While you wait on Elohim, He is actively perfecting you, establishing you, strengthening you, and settling you for what you need to do. Trust me, it's going to take a whole lot of settling for many of us to die for this gospel. You're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to be courageous. You can't fear nor be afraid. For those who wait upon Elohim, they shall renew their strength. And it's at that point where you're going to have to really be settled about the fact that, Father, forgive them. And then they're going to take your life. See, many people want all the blessings that are in the Word, all the promises, everything else. It says, in this world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. See, you need to overcome, but you're not going to overcome unless you wait. And then, while you're waiting, you get yourself, okay, perfected, established, strengthened, and settled. Once you have all that, you are good to go. But all that happens while you're waiting on Elohim, or you wait on Elohim. The problem that we have is that we live in a world where men are running around like just trying to make ends meet. Why? Because they don't wait on Elohim. He shall provide your need. When we were originally created, it was to be completely dependent on Elohim for everything. When you wait upon Him, you're waiting for Him to meet whatever needs you have. That doesn't mean you sit there and don't do the things you're supposed to. It means you're waiting for Him to let you know what else you need to do besides what you're doing now. If you don't want to work, you don't have the right to eat. Plain and simple. Just to use that as an example. But if we don't get ourselves together, how are we going to be able to stand in the true day of adversity when it comes? And at that point, that's not the time to wait. When it hits you, the only thing you're going to do is react. You can wait after. Okay? Now, in the midst of your adversity, wait. What would you like? How am I going to get through this? Better yet, how are you going to get me through this? See what I'm saying? When you rely on Elohim and He is your sole provider of everything, you have to be able to allow Him to be. And once He is, and He has established that in you, you have to be ready for the fact that not everything you're going to go through is a nice thing. As exemplified in Yeshua's life. Go to the 30th Psalm. When you're there, say Amen.
Amen.
This is a really nice message to edify you guys on waiting on Elohim. Okay? Because in today's day and age, do you know what the biggest destruction of the family unit has been? Putting women in the workforce. They were designed to be at home, raising the family and children. But now they'd rather be CEOs telling men what to do. They can do whatever they want. But think about it. Originally, it was designed so that the men went out and did everything they had to do, and the women stayed home, raised the children, and everything else, took care of the household. Okay? Proverbs 31. And she was a businesswoman from her home. Doesn't mean she can't do business from the house, but she got to take care of the house business first. Oh, did he just say that? It's not a problem if you're a businesswoman at home, as long as your home is taken care of. How do we know her home was taken care of? Her children called her blessed. Need I say more? Okay? Number 30. Even she knew how to wait on Elohim. And here's a kicker. She had things going so nicely, okay, that the things she did brought honor to her husband at the gate. Wow. What a woman that is. Okay? And again, that's what the scriptures say. Verses 4 and 5 of 30. Sing praise to Yahweh, you kind ones of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his Kodeshah. For his displeasure is for a moment, his delight is for high. Weeping might last for the night, but joy comes in the morning. How many of you know that you can be broke, busted, disgusted, all busted up? You can't do anything else. You have been so defeated, you don't know what else to do. Everything about you has gone wrong. And you lay in bed that night and you weep all night long, crying out to Elohim. But joy will come in the morning. It shall renew your strength. You will mount up with wing as an eagle. You will go forth. You not be weary. You're going to run. You're going to do everything you need to do. Why? Because he's the one who's going to take you through the valley of the shadow of death. He's the one who's going to establish you from moment of glory to moment of glory. And he's the one who has everything in control. The question is, are you going to let him be him so you can be you? Are you going to let that happen? Weeping lasts for the night. Joy comes in the morning. Oh, can you imagine how beautiful that is? Those who wait on Elohim will renew their strength. They will rise up with wings as eagles. Run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. For it is he who shall supply all your need, that his perfect will may be done in your life, so that he may receive all the honor and glory you were created to deliver in this life to him. And with that, we are closed.